Thank you. I like it. Get right.
How are you doing?
Yeah, well, I'm not surprised. It's a well-known sport. I totally agree with that.
I mean, it's the guys that follow the crowd.
Right.
I'm just wondering how
A lot of hospitals, 30 states. Former military guy, West Point graduate. He's got a lot of interesting credentials. Yeah. I'm going to get to my car. Yeah, right back. Okay, good.
I do. We're not that far. Yeah. That's all right. I'm not walking that far in these heels. That's close to the car, yeah.
I mean, they had all these gorgeous women. I really didn't see no, it's a good looking women, but this is out of my league. Okay. You're talking to the wrong person.
We have met absolutely. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I do. I love it.
I'm wearing your turquoise in a couple of weeks.
I've got
I'm in the
a
country
big
for the
box.
Chamber of Commerce, and I found the beautiful, what is it called?
I would have more money. You know, I would have more money. You know what I mean? You know, I'm a slow learner. You know, I'm in South Texas. I'm not like you guys in Dallas and that sort of thing. I'm gonna steal Mr. Money. Okay, we're gonna get him over here in front of some of the vendors. It's like, hey guys, hey, life's an adventure, man. Take life's an adventure. Dare to be different. Tell me more about this book, right? This is the UNT. This is Mr. Mooney. How are you? Nice to meet you. I'm Grego Oberst. Pleasure to meet you. Very, very Joey Saxon. Joey Mooney. Pleasure to meet you. Cheryl, that was pleasure. Pleasure to meet you.
Thanks for being the guest of honor and the guest speaker for us tonight.
Well, thanks for inviting me. I really appreciate it. For me, it's an honor. Something that's unexpected. And it came out of the blue.
Well, good. Surprises like this are good.
Yes, they
There
are.
are bad surprises, but this is one of the good ones.
Yes.
This is sort of the headquarters for the ball cap on top of UNT and Dallas, UNT Dallas. And so we provide a shared service to all three of those. Yeah. And they're and we brought them because they're UNT facilities and they're procurement firms, so they buy things. So we brought them and actually brought their checkbooks too. Those are beautiful things.
They told me I'm a ladies' man. That's what my wife did.
Greg, sir. Wow. If there's a snake, it would have been.
Well, thank you for inviting me. Well, that's what they forward to.
My right side is better.
Yes.
When you if you forget about how you do this, just call me and I'll tell you how to do it.
Let's get a picture with you and with Mr. Moon, and then you come back.
I mean, I don't know if you've ever considered this, but just going on like to a small picture basis.
Man,
Picture on the executive committee group, like your experience in the all of us were nice. After that, it was just done. You look at everyone tonight and what you see in a service.
This is my oldest daughter.
I'm in San Antonio. I just saw this one. Hardcore your part out.
Is he speaking? This is Sister Darlene.
Never met her.
Yeah, so I'm the services, marketing, and training manager. Yeah. So basically, he gave me my dream job. And everything that I know, you name it, Oklahoma Houston, Austin. After one of the elected officials' reception, I'm on the board for the district.
Bill's the one who keeps the lights on in Denver. Right.
She's got, I think she's got good
That's my first time. Have you been to this? I didn't know Ryan can't be very good. Said my husband is here, so he's not here, and I wanted to be here, but I did bring him I'm surprised he didn't break out and start laughing. Oh yeah, you mad. Yeah.
a moment to meet and greet them, and then look at your watch, and let's head on down by 6:30, and we'll start on time. So we thank you for coming, and thank you for making this evening very, very special. Mr. Gorey, did you want to have any words before we go? Mr. Gorey?
I think he just stepped out.
He's already gone? Okay, all right.
Statement made.
All right, we have 5 minutes, gang. Then we'll head on down.
Did you have an opportunity to meet?
The 19th year. Aren't we all glad to be here? The Denton Black Chamber of Commerce is an organization celebrating 20 years of service to the Denton community. Established in 1995 for the express purpose of helping with the creation, expansion, and proliferation of African-American owned businesses. And yet all races, political affiliations, and socio-economical levels are welcome to join. I became involved with the Black Chamber of Commerce a few years ago as a member of the board of directors for the Denton Chamber of Commerce. We partnered throughout the year with several projects with the Black Denton Chamber of Commerce. And it was after the elected officials reception, I ended up speaking with a few of the members of the executive committee here, including Reggie and Ron and others and Carrie. And we talked long into the night with another Denton Chamber staff member about what our goals were for the Denton community. And what we found is that our goals align, that we appreciate the different perspectives that we have as women, as men, as Black and white, Hispanic, but as people that want to make Denton a wonderful place to raise your children, to get educated, and to do business. And after that point in time, my law firm, Minor and Jester, joined the Black Chamber of Commerce as an official member, and our relationship has blossomed from there. And what I have found is they support everyone. They support everyone in the goals of making Denton a great place to be, and a great place to be inclusive of all different types of people and appreciate all different types of people as we all try to make, again, Denton the community where we want to be. I would like to, at this time, for welcoming all of us, introduce our Mayor Pro Tem of the City of Denton, Dalton Gregory. Mr. Gregory is a Denton native, retired after 34 years in public education, 26 years in the Denton Independent School District, and 23 years as an elementary school principal. His charitable organizational donations include being part of the City of Denton Parks and Recreation Advisory Board, the Recreation and Beautification Advisory Board, Human Services Advisory Committee, and a vice president and board member of the well-known and well-appreciated Fred Moore Day Nursery School. He lives here in Denton with his wife Donna and has 3 adult children. Won't you please help me welcome the City of Denton Mayor Pro Tem Dalton Gregory.
Well, greetings from Mayor, I was about to say Mayor Burroughs, by Mayor Chris Watts and the City Council. One of our council members here tonight, Kathleen Wasney. Ms. Wasney, raise your hand. Thank you for inviting me to say a few words. Carrie said, be positive, don't be political, and take 10 minutes. Now, I go to the First United Methodist Church, and we expect our preaching to be done on time. If it's after 12:05, he's in trouble. I know that doesn't happen in some of the churches around down there on the road. So, thank you for inviting me to say a few words this evening, and thank you for supporting commerce in Denton, both commerce in general and especially commerce for African American businesses. I know that you guys need the city to be an active partner to help you be successful, and the city needs you in order to grow and prosper. Now, I grew up in a family of teachers, and then I became a teacher, and so did my wife. I don't know a lot. I know a lot more about teaching than I do about business. And my wife took a break from teaching and started a successful business. Then she went back to teaching. Upon retirement, my wife started another successful business, and then she went back to retirement. She knows a lot more about business than I do. That means that probably everyone in this room knows more about business than I do. I've been in public education actually 38 years total, and I've helped in the education of thousands of students, many of whom have gone into business. And that means that my students know more about business than I do. So why am I here? Oh, all of the other city council members that were involved in successful businesses are in Washington, D.C. at a conference. Now, I don't want you to get nervous about this. Trust me, I'm nervous enough for all of us. But look, folks, business, let's see, you sound so nervous. But look, business folks need the public schools. Here's our school board table right over here, go away. Y'all need the public schools. It needs what I do. That is where your workforce comes from. Your employees need a good, solid grounding in academic skills, reading, writing, and math. Did you know that today that at DISD at the LaGrone Advanced Technology Center up here by the Collins Athletic Complex, that they are training high school kids in over 40 high-value occupations. DISD also has teamed up with several Denton manufacturers to help prepare students with the skills that those particular industries need. Now, the public schools need businesses too. The public schools benefit from successful businesses. One reason is that our students need jobs, and the schools need the taxes generated by the businesses in order to teach those students. But there's another thing that both businesses and schools need, and that is good ideas. By the way, your local government could benefit from a few good ideas also. In fact, we all need good ideas, but sometimes good ideas seem pretty scary. No new taxes. Now that seems like a good idea. It's going to really help some folks. But some good ideas also create problems, like roads and bridges that start to crumble, and we don't have the money to fix them. Maybe diverting money from the library system to fix the road seems like a good idea until we realize how many folks depend on the services of our library programs. But that's as political as I'm going to get. I want to talk about good ideas. And the first question is, how do you know a good idea when it appears? Well, maybe it's helpful to consider the source. Men, any idea offered by your wife, most likely that's a good idea. Men, it's also a good idea to work to accomplish those good ideas. Employees, any idea offered by your boss might be a good idea. But it is a great idea to act like that your boss's ideas are good, even when sometimes they're not. You might have to be diplomatic to help guide your boss to a better idea, and it is even better if you can help your boss think that your better idea is really his or her own idea, or at least inspired by your boss. Employees, bosses, it is very likely that your employees have good ideas. They are working on the front lines when the rubber hits the road. It is likely that they are seeing a way something could be done faster, or better, or cheaper. Encourage them to speak up and listen to them. Give them some room or some opportunities to test some new ideas. Encourage and reward those employees with good ideas so that they stay with you and they don't become your competition. Maybe customers have good ideas. If you collaborate with a customer on a new idea, then your customer becomes your partner. And your customer will feel great loyalty towards you and your business. Big problems cry out for great ideas. First, you solve big problems by admitting that there's a problem. You don't solve big problems by denial or putting all of your energy into finding someone to blame. Furthermore, you don't solve problems by making excuses. You solve big problems by finding solutions. A good idea, or several good ideas. When I was a young principal, at one time I was young, when I was a young principal at Lee Elementary, I saw a potential problem. The building was poorly designed, and there were many ways for unwanted visitors to enter. But I wrongly thought that since the problem was impossible to completely solve, there was no point in doing anything to at least reduce the risk in some way. But one afternoon, as school was dismissing, a 5th grade girl came to the office sobbing. She said that someone had molested her in the girls' restroom. We could never figure out who did it, or if it actually happened, but we had to take her report seriously. We held a meeting, invited all the parents. We made sure that they were fully informed. And that meeting led to a committee of parents, teachers, and district operations staff to find some good ideas to improve school security and safety for our students and our teachers. Lots and lots of ideas were generated. While brainstorming the ideas, we avoided the temptation to reject an idea that might be too expensive or seem too difficult to put into effect. All ideas would be considered. We also refused to spend time casting blame or making excuses. Now understand, this was a long time before the mass shootings at Columbine High School or Sandy Hook Elementary or I'm sorry to tell you this statistic, but 170 shootings in schools since Sandy Hook happened in 2012. But here's what we came up with back then. We got a new locking system for all of our exterior doors that opened from the outside with magnetic card readers and an alarm system so that the office was alerted anytime a door was left open for more than 2 minutes. It was started at Lee, and now it is standard in all the ISD schools. New architectural design so that the main entrance of the school goes straight into the office, and that all visitors must check into the office. No one can go into the rest of the school without having been cleared by school staff. Started at Lee, and now standard in all the ISD schools. And that required a lot of schools to be remodeled. All staff wearing photo ID badges so that students know which adults they should follow and that they should mind. All visitors have to wear visitor IDs, and any adult walking around the building without one of those ID badges is escorted to the office and accounted for. Now standard practice at all schools. These are all good ideas, but they came about because of collaboration of bosses, employees, and parents in our form of customers who were willing to focus on finding solutions rather than finding excuses or finding folks to blame. Collaboration can really work. Now, there are some good standards that can be used to identify a good idea as opposed to one that's not so good. Ideas that teenagers come up with after 11 at night are probably not good ideas. Ideas that a group of men, maybe on a fishing trip, come up with after 11 o'clock at night are probably not good ideas. Ideas by either of those groups are probably not good ideas if there's no one that can answer the question, what could go wrong? You can bet it's a good idea if it helps to solve the problem. It might not be the whole solution, but if it helps make progress toward the solution, it's a good idea. A good idea helps achieve a goal. It might not be the perfect solution or the whole solution, but if it helps make progress to the goal, it's a good idea. A good idea needs to be compatible with the values and the mission of the group or organization. There are solutions to problems out there that don't fit our values and are not appropriate to implement. A great solution may be the product of many small good ideas that all work together like individual strands of thread that when woven together make a very strong fabric. Another indicator that an idea is good is if it's one that keeps coming up again and again. From one age to the next, from one culture to the next, ideas that we all long for, ideas like freedom, liberty, forgiveness, justice for all, and doing unto others as we would have others do unto us. Those are good ideas that we've got to keep working for. And now, I think it would be a good idea if I quit.
Thank you so much, Dalton. We appreciate you very much. Well, also, just to let you know, my name is Jill Jester. I don't know if I introduced myself earlier, but I'm a native Dentonite. Was born here at Will Hospital and an attorney with Minor and Jester civil litigation law firm here in town. And I'm very proud to step into the shoes of Fred Minor and Tom Jester, who led the way for, I think, where we want to be today. Next up, to continue a proper greeting for everyone, we have the Reverend Reginald T. Logan Sr., who's the pastor at Galilee Missionary Baptist Church. He has served on the Denton Regional Hospital Chaplaincy Board, Denton Housing Authority, and is a former vice president of the Denton NAACP. To get this evening started off right, won't you please join me to the podium for our invocation, Pastor Logan.
We'll get right to it. We'll get you caught up here, all right? This table here, you're legal. Your salad was blessed. Listen, y'all. But let's bless the entree. You know, the Word of God says, you let the Word of God not depart from your lips. It promises you, business people and all people, that the Lord has promised you prosperity and success. Joshua, the 1st chapter, the 8th and the 9th verse. I want to read that. And some of y'all looking like that, that's the Old Testament. Bow with me. Most gracious Father, we thank you, Lord, right here, right now, for all you continue to do in our life and our living. You've been wonderful to us for a whole year, all of our lives. And I ask a special blessing on every business person in this room. And those, Father God, that could not make it, but in some way they need the support. They need the support of the vision that you cast in their mind, that they go forth and then come to fruition, Lord. Then we ask you, Lord, to bless their endeavors day in and day out. So when we come back this time next year, they'll scream out and say, I'm better off than I was last year. Now thank you for the food that's been prepared for the nourishment of our body, our soul, and our spirit. So we can go forth and tell the dying world the reality of serving a true and a living King. In the name of Jesus, we pray, we ask it all. We say together, Amen. Matthew, ladies.
Thank you, Pastor Logan, and please everyone enjoy the fellowship at your table. Well, I hope everyone is having half the good time.
Yeah, which is really good.
So,
Thanks. No problem.
next to the stage, won't you please help me welcome not only a friend, but two. Cheryl English is with Black Tech Realty. She's also a trustee with the Denton Housing Authority and is involved with the Denton Community Council of PTA, the Denton Independent School District Education Improvement Committee, the Denton County Sheriff's Department Juvenile Advisory Committee, and very involved with the Black Chamber of Commerce. She's also selling our raffle tickets tonight. We've got many prizes throughout the evening to give out. So, if you are interested, I know it's $5 for $20, and she's been walking around and accepting some of those at this time. Is Cheryl in the... There you are! Come on down, girlfriend! What are you waiting for? Here's your formal invitation. The beautiful, the talented, the successful Cheryl English. Thank you so much for joining us.
I'm glad to see all of you tonight. If this is your first time ever been at one of our Black Chamber banquets, please raise your hand. Oh, wow. Wow.
Nice.
Thank you. We hope you are having a good time and the meal was good will get a little nervous when I get the microphone, but I promise you how I'll not this long last tonight. I'm here to introduce our elected officials and special guests that have come to our banquet tonight, and they have graced us with their presence and their time, and we just want to say that we appreciate you coming. I'm sure I'm going to miss somebody, and if you're new to coming to our banquet, I usually give my cell phone number so you can text me and tell me you forgot me, but I'm not doing that tonight. Just raise your hand and I'll be back up. I want to first thank our Mayor Pro Tem, Dr. Gregory. Thank you very much for coming and bringing your wife. And so I'm going to go down the list so we can move forward in our program, because I have a lot of raffle items. So make sure you get your raffle tickets, because we have some good stuff and I want to give it all away. Our Councilwoman Kathleen Washington is here. My good friend. She's sitting at Constable Tim Burke's table, and he could not be here tonight, but I did want to acknowledge that he continues to support us and buys tables and brings special people so that we can get to know you better, and we appreciate that, and we appreciate him. Phil Williams from Denton Municipal Electricity. If you're upset about their utility bill, see Phil afterwards. Phil, thank you for that. I have a lot of favorites, but this is one of my favorite group of people. The Denton Independent School District, our superintendent and board of trustees are here tonight. Dr. Jamie Wilson is one of my close friends. And Dr. Wilson texted me because he wanted to know what Carrie was wearing so that he couldn't be outdressed, but I'm sorry, Jamie, I tried. I know. I just said, I'll give you the flower color next year. Okay. And we have school board trustee, Dr. Glenna Harris.
I'll go ahead and bring him.
Thank you. Darcy Martinez. Dr. Janetta Smith. My Cajun friend, Bea Price. And my realtor colleague, Charles Stafford. Also, we have our top cop here, who is our chief of police, Chief Lee Howe. And his wife, Janie, my other realtor colleague. Chuck Carpenter, there you are. Chuck Carpenter, getting paper comments, our big paper. Always a pleasure. We also have Forrest Saville, who's sitting at the table with me. He is the president of the College County Chamber of Commerce. We go back and forth at our events, and I'm glad you're here. We have somebody new here, a good friend that I've met, and he is the president of the North Texas Minority Chamber, Cassandra Bradford Wilson. Cassandra comes and teaches classes for us on how to start business and get your women-owned veteran minority certification, and we appreciate that. Boy Culberson from NCTC. I also want to acknowledge Sherry McDade from the Denton Housing Authority. She's our CEO. Sherry is doing wonderful things at the Housing Authority, and I thank you for coming and your staff. Gina and Kristen, my cousin over there. And along at that table is my fellow colleague and commissioner, Salty Rochelle. He and I both serve on the board, and thank you for coming. Also, Christopher Jones. Where is Christopher? CW. Did I get that right? Okay. That's my school that I go to right now. Charles O'Neill. He is the president of the Texas Association of African American Chambers of Commerce. I had to call this guy to make sure he was coming. I almost had to twist his arm, and thank you, Jesus, he showed up. Willie Hotchkiss from the NAACP. Anthony Coleman, where are you? There you are, from NCTA. Thank you. Gary Henderson from the United Way. Gary is doing wonderful things here in Dillon, and he's partnering up, and we're working together with the Housing Authority, and I just had a conversation for some construction projects, and I said, okay, what did you, when you interviewed the people who are going to, did you make sure it was women-owned and minority-owned businesses who would be bidding on some of this? He said, that was the first thing I did, so you're all right with me. So I'm sure I missed somebody. I'll be back up here if I didn't grab you, because oh, you snuck in here. I didn't even know that. To the council person from State Shore, I didn't hear your name. Thank you, Debbie. I'll be back over to that section. I do want us to just take time to acknowledge, we have a banquet committee member who have emergency surgery, and he's usually a big part of our banquet and all the stuff that the chamber does, and that's Terrence Hudson. And then I know some of you got the program and you saw the items that were being donated, but there are also some additional items that will be raffled. Walmart $50 gift certificate, a donation from Enterprise Rent-A-Car for a weekend auto rental. I also wanted to do a couple raffles. So who has, did everybody get raffle tickets? Okay. Who has the bag of tickets? Oh, 3 more. Here's a gift card to Anna. Never eaten at Anna. It's $50. You've never eaten at Anna. And I have a $25
Thank you so much, Ms. English. And thank you, Business Black Chamber, for always welcoming the Texas Association of African American Chamber of Commerce to your event. It is indeed a pleasure to be with you again this year. I have a quick test before I begin my presentation. Last year, I asked you how many of you are members of the Texas Black Chamber of Commerce. For show of hands, please. That's the wrong answer. Everybody. Because the work is so valuable, so critical, that without the support of everyone, it can't get the mission done. So, when I come back next year, I'm ready. I know. Looking at the congratulations on this 19th anniversary. 20 years in Black Chamber of Commerce has lent their energy and considerable talent to our organization. Serving on the board is John Banks, the past chair of our organization. But I need you to know that this that you're attending tonight is not what changed you. This is the aftermath of their work. And so, that year of time in between celebratory events like this is sometimes pretty rough. I have the great pleasure of traversing the state. There are 22 other Black Chambers of Commerce in the state, from the Panhandle to Piney Woods in East Texas to Lufkin and Longview and down to Corpus Christi, several of villages. And there's another anniversary this year. 80 years ago, in 1936, real quick history lesson. The Dallas Black Chamber of Commerce was the oldest Black Chamber of Commerce in the nation, founded in 1926. And the Houston Negro Chamber of Commerce at the time, in 1935, second oldest Black Chamber in the nation, came together at the Texas Centennial Celebration and created predecessor organization to the Texas Association of African American Chamber of Commerce. They founded the Texas State Negro Chamber of Commerce in 1936. Again, they marked 80 years of this kind of effort in our state. Before the next census, Texas will have the second largest Black population among 50 states. Since the last survey of business owners, Texas Black-owned businesses in our state have grown from about 7% to nearly 10% of the total number of businesses in our state. The unfortunate side note to that is revenues are flat. So we're getting lots and lots of activity. Texas has led the nation in the rate of business formation among African Americans for 2 decades. We have not seen a corresponding increase in revenue. You heard Ms. Jessica earlier talk about the contributions that Texas Black Chamber has made to the quality of life in this city. We think that our mission as an organization, or as an organization representing similar organizations, is that our entire aim is to improve the quality of life for all Texans, and starting with Black-owned businesses. Last budget, the state of Texas spent $16 billion in goods and services. Only 1.63% was Black-owned businesses. The most recent budget crept up to a little over $17 billion, and contract awards to Black-owned businesses declined to about 1.22%. So while we may be in the interim celebrating events that mark an anniversary, you see that we do have much work left to accomplish if indeed we're going to improve opportunities for all of us in Texas. On a good note, we will have Black Business Day at the Capitol on March 31st this year. And we received word this week that Governor Abbott is going to join us. And so if you're available on Thursday, March 31st, please join us in the auditorium at the State Capitol, where we are attempting to influence public policy and indeed move the needle so that we can have really festive celebration again this time next year. Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you.
Thank you so much. We appreciate everything that you do and all that you give back, Mr. Charles O'Neill. Not only is he president of the Dallas Black Chamber of Commerce, the nation's oldest and largest African American Chamber of Commerce, but he's currently president of the Texas Association of African American Chambers of Commerce and has been elected vice chair of the United States Black Chamber of Commerce. So thank you so much for being here. We appreciate your time. Next up to the podium, I have the pleasure of introducing not only a colleague but a friend. I have to tell you that after seeing a beautiful song that he wrote and performed for Representative Meyer Crownover, it is now on my bucket list to achieve something worthy of a song from John Bain. So one day I hope to be there. He's not only a board member of the Black Chamber of Commerce, but he's also chairman of the Texas Association of African American Chamber of Commerce. He's a board member for the KERA Channel 13. He's past chairman of the Denton County United Way and past president of Denton County Friends of the Family. He's married here in Denton, Texas to Tracy Baines with 2 children. And it is an honor and privilege to introduce my friend who has his practice, his CPA practice here at John Baines and Associates for many, many years, a friend of the family for a long time, John Baines.
Jill came to our Christmas party and we had a fun time singing. So we might do an album together. If you could turn in your program with me, I'm going to try to be economical, expeditious, and efficient. And we're going to go over the little intro that we have in the booklet here before we bring up our speaker. Our honored guest, Mr. Donald L. Rooney, hails from Houston, Texas, where he spent his early formative years. In his teens, he attended the San Marcos Academy, and through the junior ROTC program, he earned an appointment to the prestigious West Point Military Academy. After a decorated 21-year career and attaining the rank of lieutenant colonel, he retired in year 2000. Mr. Mooney is a philanthropist, Christian servant, husband, and father. He's in the top 100 African-American business owners in America. He's the Alamo City Small Business of the Year Award winner and the MWBE Minority Service Firm of the Year in federal contracting. From such a vast and rich portfolio of intellect and experience came his brainchild of companies now employing over 900 employees and contractors. I'll draw your attention to each of the 4 companies that are listed here. Nurses, etc. staffing fulfills manpower requirements for the government and commercial healthcare facilities located across the U.S. Virtus does healthcare recruiting and client placement. Climacore Solutions provides medical and logistical workforce solutions. And DME does vendor management services and managed service, he's also a managed service provider. Before I introduce Mr. Mooney, I want to give you just a little personal note. I had the pleasure of meeting him in Austin a few years ago, and we started talking, and we found out we grew up in the same community. We went to the same high school. I was a year ahead of him, and you know, Houston's a great place to grow up in, but it's also a very tough place. It's very, very difficult there. There's a lot of challenges in that big city. And Mr. Mooney will talk about some of the challenges he had to face to achieve the level of success that he's done. He has a wonderful wife of 41 years. My sister, wonderful children and a brand new son-in-law. And two of the daughters and the son-in-law are here with me. And without further ado, would you please join me? Would you stand, please? And join me in welcoming Mr. Donald L. Mooney. Thank you very much. At the end of this presentation, we will take a few, we'll take a few questions from the audience. It's always good to reach out and touch. People in the audience always have questions. And we would also like to do some photo ops with our students, with the college, high school, and junior high students. Please stand that are here joining us. Let's give them a round of applause. Thanks, John, and thanks for those very, very kind words, and I hope to live up to what you said about me. Also, I want to say that his wife Tracy and I went to the same middle school, or junior high, and my cousin Barbara said she knows you very well. So we've been flashing pictures between my cousin and I, because we all went to the same school in Houston at Jeff Gates, and Jeff Gates was really a rough school. But despite the roughness, a lot of us, many of us did very, very well. And but again, John and Tracy, thanks for being so kind today and having lunch with me. I really enjoyed that. I really, you down to earth people. I want to say thank you to our chairman of the board, Mr. Kerry Gorey. Thank you for inviting me, sir. I want to say hello to our mayor pro tem, Mrs. Dalton Gregory. Thank you. Charles O'Neill, my friend, and Horace, my friend. We're all members of the TAC. I am a member of the TAC. They do great service. And I want to say to the sponsors, University of North Texas and Datafew Credit Union, keep on supporting the Denton Chamber of Commerce. We need you. Okay, keep on keeping on. Others distinguished guests, members of the chambers, business owners, and friends. I'm truly humbled by being here. I never thought in a million years I'd be here speaking in front of you. Just didn't think, you know. I'm a business owner, and I like putting people to work. That's what I like to do. And congratulations to the chamber on celebrating its 19th year. You're doing great things here. I'm a member of the Alamo Black Chamber of Commerce in San Antonio, and also the TAC, as I said. And we need the chamber. We need the chamber because of the leadership that it brings, and it brings business together so we can collaborate and grow other small businesses so we can put people to work and get people and grow our economy. We need that sort of thing. We really do. I'm honored to be in the presence of my family. I will tell you, without Jesus Christ,
all right.
Yes. Because I can tell you that there was many days I didn't know where the money was coming from. And I had to get on my knees in front of that brown couch and said, Lord, I need to pay payroll, so I need to But, and so without my family, I wouldn't be standing up here. And including, I want to mention two, they're part of my family too. That's Colonel Lawrence Randall and Mrs.
Brenda Reynolds. Raise your hand up there, guys. Now, they're from Fish Creek, Texas.
Say that with pride.
And Lawrence is a full colonel, retired. He went through the ranks. He won through 06, been to War College. He's an aviator. We sung in the choir back in 1979. That's where I met him at Headquarters Chapel at Fort Brooker, Alabama. And I used to stand right next to him because, John, unlike you, I cannot sing. I just cannot sing. So we sung in the choir together, Brenda, myself, and my wife, and a bunch of other good friends. Lawrence and I also were baptized together. We were baptized on May 8th, 1980. All right. And I'll tell you, the reason why I was baptized is because I said, Lord, I just can't do it. Flight school was harder than West Point, I'll tell you right now. And I said, Lord, I cannot do this without you. You know, before that, I was so full of myself, right, Lawrence? I was so full of myself, and I thought, Don, we can do anything. And you know, in this world, sometimes you have to be like that. But I said, Lord, I need your help. And so I accepted Christ May 8th, 1980. So Lawrence is we got baptized in Blue Pond. In the pond, in the river. We got immersed. I also want to, I have my oldest daughter here, Alexis. She's both my girls are dead girls. They're ruined. I hate to say that. And you know, my family, when I started this business, my family, my girls, they were my slave labor. And I say that because, you know, I started out the business and I was paying $5.50. I was paying $5.50. And my wife and I would argue about how much we're going to pay the kids. I'm going to pay Alexis $5.50 and you'll get $7. I mean, just no, the baby needs $7. I'll take $5.50. She regretted it, but anyway, so my daughter, all my kids work in my business, like I said before. My daughter has come back and started working with me. And she's like, what do you do, honey?
Corporate services, marketing, training.
So that's a mouthful. So, you know, and my children, I'm truly blessed with my children. And Mary, my youngest daughter, was my staff accountant. She ran, early on, she ran my famous club. And and my son, Andrew, who is not here, he was my recruiter. All my kids have done everything in the business, from staffing to being on call to HR to finance to being what I call my second in command. So, and you know, I have to tell the story. My daughter Mary went to UNT. My money's still here. I'm waiting for the degree. She had gotten a full scholarship or a partial scholarship to a Christian school, Central Christian School in Kansas, and she told her mom, she said, Mom, there's only white people in Kansas. Only white people in Kansas, no black folks. Well, this is you, man, a white guy. And that's my son-in-law, Sean. 41 years. You know, I knew when I saw her. I haven't dated anyone else since I met her 43 years ago. I met her when she was 18 years old, and we've grown together. It has not, as John and I discussed this afternoon, it's been a rocky road. She tried to divorce me when I was 25. I'm at our 25th year. I hid. I did. I kid you not. I didn't say anything. I just said, businesses are hard on families. Okay, guys? Young people, businesses are hard on families. And I'll tell you what she did. And she's a great woman. She's a tough woman, even though she tried to divorce me. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. Again, my name's Don Newman. I'm 64 years old. I'm originally from Houston, and I currently live in a little town called Garden Ridge, Texas. I reside with my wife for 41 years, and she's been my girlfriend for 43. I own a healthcare staffing business. I started a healthcare staffing business when I was 48 years old. I was 48 years old. So, you're never too old to start a business. Okay? You're never too old. When I started my business, I was in education for 3 years. I was the Commandant of Cadets and the Dean of Boys at San Marcos Academy, which is also my high school alma mater. I retired from the military in 1997 after 22 years of service. I'm also a 1975 graduate of the United States Military Academy at West Point. Now, you know, Air Force guys don't say that, but Army guys say whoa. Right, Crunchy? Yeah. So, what I'm going to talk about tonight is I'm going to tell you about my story, and I'll talk a little bit about my vision. And hopefully when I talk about these things, you're going to see that I had a plan. You got to have a plan. And you've got to be unconditionally committed to that plan and to succeed. You know, you got to do like what Cortez did. You got to burn your ships, and you got to move forward. And being unconditionally committed, it also makes you a better person, a better husband, father, and also make you a better business owner. And you always have to raise your level of thinking. So you always have to be continuing to learn. You always have to be continuing to learn because competition is right behind you. And then you got to have faith. You got to have faith. I'm going to tell you. You know, there are many times, and I don't say this just to say it. I didn't know what money was going to be. I just didn't know what money was. I would get on my knees in front of this brown couch that I slept on for 30 years. My wife moved upstairs, okay? She gave me the downstairs bedroom. I'd sit many nights on that couch praying, Lord, help me, I need money. And he did send me money. He did. He sent me a way to find to get money. So my message is about hope also. It's going to be a little gritty at times when I tell you about some of the things that happened to me to get here. Because I'm going to talk to you a little bit about me coming up. Because what you see in your program, you see all those things that I call that iceberg effect. Everybody knows what an iceberg is. You see what's on the top of the iceberg, that 1/3, but you don't see what's down below the water, 2/3. So what you see is the success, and sometimes you don't see the preparation and what goes in getting getting a business person there, you know. Now, what you see, and I'll throw out some numbers to you, you know, you see a person who has a $50 million plus business, $3.6 million payroll, 1,200 employees, 1,222 employees in 35 states. Retired Lieutenant Colonel, West Point educated, and I went to school with future CEOs of Fortune 500 companies. My classmate was the CEO of Procter & Gamble. What's the Twinkie brand? Hostess. One of them was the CEO of Hostess. Sons of astronauts and CIA directors. I went to school with Detroiters. Army Chiefs of Staffs and Chairman of Joint Chiefs of Staffs. The guys who directed the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq. One was my classmate. Black 4-star general. You know, so we've got some. So I went to school with those guys. But the other things that you see is that we have committed ourselves to sponsoring 27 young people in Rwanda through high school. Our company is committed to doing that. We want to make sure that those young people, 27, make it through high school, and we also are paying the salary of one school nurse there. And you know, you say, well, God, this guy's born with a silver spoon in his mouth. So I want to, you know, because most people see just the top of the iceberg. Okay? And what people do not see is that persistence, the failure. Guys, I failed a lot. I have failed so many times. And I'll tell you about the time the IRS came in my office. If you ever been scared, I've been scared when the IRS is coming in the office. Sacrifice, disappointment, discipline, hard work, dedication, planning, and continuous learning. Okay, I'm going to try to give you the short version of this, and I hope it's a short version. And I told my daughter to tell me when I'm at 20 minutes and at 30 minutes. So, you know, I grew up in Houston in a white, segregated community in the 50s. Didn't know who my father was. Didn't know who he was. I don't know if my father said hi to me a day. You know? Mom was mentally ill when I was about 4 years old. So I was raised by my grandparents. Grandma passed away when I was 8. My brother was 4. So it was the 3 of us. And here I am, an 8-year-old energizer bunny. ADD, HD. That's me. That's me. I mean, getting in trouble all the time, you know. And Grandpa expected me to, since Grandma was there, he expected me to cook and have food on the table when he came home from work. Nobody else. But I had lots of family in the neighborhood, lots of uncles, aunts, cousins, lots of love. So I didn't feel like I was not loved. I'm just a child of money, always getting in trouble. I had fun and got in a lot of trouble. I also flunked the first in the 6th grade. I just didn't go to school. Okay? I don't think my kids know some of this stuff, so there's some of this, you know. I was an unsupervised child. I roamed the neighborhood. I stayed out as late as I wanted to. I wouldn't go home. He would send folks after me. So I also learned to work and hustle during the time. Collecting bottles, raking leaves, cleaning out garden beds and river oaks. And my cousin, who was 4 years old, taught me all these things, some good things, some bad things too. I was always getting in trouble. Here's a time when I used to get in trouble, I think I watched too many movies. I used to love to read. And I stole bean shooters one time, probably 3 times. I got caught on the 3rd or 4th time, I think. Here I am crawling around in Kroger's with a bean shooter in my hand, shooting. Would not like to shoot the white people, because black folks didn't go to Kroger's. So you know, can you imagine? I'm the only black kid in there, shooting these folks crawling around, you know? What am I, 8 years old, what am I thinking? Those are things I used to do, you know? I was sent to juvie during that time frame. Grandpa tried to talk to me, but I continued getting in trouble, stealing, skipping schools. Still stole cars when I was at 10 with my old cousin. During this time, Mom was in and out of mental institutions. I mean, she loved me, but what could she do, you know? She loved both of us, but we were there, both of us. My brother, who was 4 years younger than I, we were just roaming. We just roamed everything, roaming streets. At 12, I started running away from home and missing school a lot. 80s and months at the time. I lived in vacant houses and cars. Started breaking in houses. And first because I was hungry, and then became adventurous. I was breaking houses with people in the house. I was not a danger to them, I wasn't harming anybody. But to show my friends I could do it, I was not afraid. The last house I broke in was a preacher's house. You know, God has a strange sense of humor. You know, he came in on us and we barely escaped. We thought we barely escaped. We stole a huge candy cane. That's what we stole. A candy cane. Okay? And so we went home and we changed clothes. You know? It worked on TV. And we got caught by the police. And we think they would know who we were since we changed clothes. You know, we thought we were outsmart, but it worked in the movies. But there were about 6 boys that were involved in the burglaries of over 50 homes. I was the only boy that was sent away. How many guys know what Gatesville is? Everybody, I was praying to God that I would not go to Gatesville. Because you know what they do to little boys. I prayed to God that I was not, so God heard my prayer. I was sent away to Harris County Boys Home in 1965. That was the best thing that ever happened. I got caught. You know, sometimes you just need to get caught. You know, and you know, Grandpa didn't know what to do with me. I was just handled. He was just ADHD boy. But at the boys' home, I would flourish. The man who took me down there was my probation officer. He became one of my champions, my mentor, and my friend. He also became the director of Big Brothers and one of my big brothers. He's still a friend after 50 years. Now, at the boys' home, I learned so much. I was in the Boy Scouts. I played football, baseball, boxed in the Golden Glove, wrestled, tumbled, woodwork, worked on the farm, rode horses, fed pigs, learned how to sell, and met one of the greatest and most generous individuals in the world, Muhammad Ali. I mean, he was truly generous. He gave us money so that for our athletic department. And I was one of those kids that, who went in the ring with him and collected his money in a cigar box when people would come up and wanted his autograph. We also, at the boys' home, also was skipped from the 7th grade to the 8th grade. That was definitely boosted my self-image. really helped me in my self-image. And you know what? I almost forfeited all of this. I almost forfeited all of this by thinking about running away with my best friend, Otto Miller. Otto and I would, you know, we worked in the kitchen together, and Otto hated the place. And so, you know, and we would tie bedspreads together. We were on the second or third floor. And we would throw it out the window and test it. But the old night watchman would wake up and we would bring it back in. But anyway, one night the night watchman didn't come in, we threw it out. And Otto said, I'm going. And I said, I'm not going with you, Otto. Otto escaped, stole the car. He's 13 years old. Proceeded to try to run the police in a high-speed chase and subsequently died. I couldn't get with him. So, almost forfeited with all the good things. After 7 months, I was released from the boys' home. I was 14 years old. I cried. I really did. You know, and I can tell you, I can understand how folks feel when they're released from prison. Because you don't know what to do. Don't know what to do. But I was lucky. I knew, one thing I knew is I was not cut out to do wrong things. I was always got caught. Always got caught. You know, even when I was at West Point, trying to go out and see my girlfriend, I always got caught, okay? I was a good cadet until I met my wife. I started thinking, maybe God has a plan if I just listen. Be patient and did the right things. And this is what I did. I prayed and said this prayer. God, I know what you haven't. I don't know what you have in store for me, but I don't want to live this life again, in this life. And I don't want to go to prison. I need your help. I prayed for an education. I wanted to be an engineer. At 14 years old, I wanted to be an engineer. I didn't know what a darn engineer was, but I wanted to be an engineer. I got the engineering degree. I probably have to be a soldier because my folks didn't have the money to send me to college. And I want a family of my own. As you can see, God granted me all of those things. I have an engineering degree. I'm educated. And I have a wife for 41 years and 3 knucklehead children. So. Now, the next phase of my life determined where I am today. After leaving the boys' home, I had to attend big functions. It was court mandated that I had to attend. I took advantage of this, and not really knowing that I took advantage of this. You know, those men, and they were not men of color in 1966. Those men were watching me and wanted to help. They wanted to see if I was ready. They offered me a scholarship to San Marcos Academy. What those men did was put all their money, they started pooling their money together. And not only offered me a scholarship, but they offered several other young men, Hispanics, black, white, and those men were angels. They truly were angels. Again, I almost spoke that also. Now, they probably offered this scholarship to 50 other young men. Now, like I said, I almost forfeited it. This is how opportunities work. Young people, you need to listen to this. We don't know that there are opportunities at times. This is how opportunities work. Sometimes we don't think. We let our friends talk us out of it. You know? Initially, I didn't accept the scholarship. too busy chasing girls at the time, working. Man, I was having a great time. Here I am, 16, 17 years old, having a good time. Again, God has a strange sense of humor. You know? And let me tell you how God changed my mind. I always worked, and so I was on a work program at school, and I was walking down the hall I was a janitor at the time. And so I was walking, going to catch the bus to go to my janitorial job. And this guy, Moose, at Jack Yates, was walking behind me. He was a bully, used to beat up girls, take their quarters, and I had my hand in my pocket, not to fight back in those days. I was crazy enough to fight back in those days. And he asked me, "What?" He said, "Give me some money." I said, "I don't have any money." He says, "What's that in your pocket?" I said, "Money." I was a wise guy. So he hit me when we began to fight. We fought in the hall and went out in the bushes and, just like, blood. And so, I said I could fight. Knocked him in the bushes. He came out with a brick and the brick won. Okay, he hit me right square in the head with the brick. And I showed John that. You can still see the scar right here. And if you look at it, it's in the shape of a cross. Okay? The next time my big brother asked me, "Do you want to go to San Marcos?" "Yes, sir." So, and there was a lot of reasons why I didn't want to go, because I was going to be the only black kid there. And I was scared. I was afraid, And my friends would say, again, "What are you going to do there? You're going to be over," this is 1969, okay? "What are you going to do there?" No black girls there. There's no black. What are you going to do? "I don't know. It's a military school." And I finally had to find reasons. Well, I'm going to eat 3 meals a day. I don't have to sleep in the same bed as my brother. I have a chance to, I don't have to work, and I have a chance to go to college. So, like I said, I was afraid. I was afraid of not being accepted. But upon graduation, in 1971 from San Marcos, I was president of the class, captain of the football team, and a National Honor Society member. I learned that I could compete with anyone given the opportunity. And I think that's what Charles is talking about when he talks about black businesses. Or small businesses, given the opportunity, we can compete. Years later, I learned that I was almost not accepted at the academy because of my record. But one man took a chance on me, Jimmy Scott, and he told everyone that Moody was going to attend. So I'm really thankful to Mr. Jimmy Scott. He's still there. He's the president of the school. He was the vice president back in 1969, and now he's the president. So, now here's how I got accepted to West Point. How am I doing, Alexis? 33. I'm at 33 minutes. Okay. This is how I got accepted. September of my senior year, and I have to talk about this gentleman right now. My big brother, Frank Abraham, visited and asked me where was I planning to go to college. I told him that where I applied, where I had scholarships. I told him I wanted to attend the Naval Academy and the Air Force Academy because I wanted to fly, and I eventually wanted to become an astronaut. And also because there would be more black people there. I was trying to be the only black person around, I couldn't even skip school. Mr. Abraham, this guy was an angel, and but he was a Southern gentleman, and he was also an attorney. He says, "Now, Don, are you prejudiced And I said, of course I'm not, Mr. Abraham. And of course he was kidding me. He says, well, Mr. Ringo wants you to apply at West Point. Now, these two men were important in my life, and I didn't want to disappoint them. So I wrote to my congressman and applied at West Point. Now, unbeknownst to me, Mr. Abraham had went to law school with my congressman. So that helps a lot too. Mr. Abraham also knew Barbara Jordan, introduced me to Barbara Jordan, told me I needed to learn to know that lady. Unfortunately, being a 19-year-old and hard-headed, I didn't do that. That's one of the things I do regret. Let me say a little bit about Mr. Frank Abraham. Frank Abraham died, I think, in 2004. He was one of the founders of Big Brothers 1948. He was at the Battle of the Bulge. He promised God if he hit bullets singing all around him, he said, Lord, if you get me out of this thing, I'm going to do something good. And like I said, he's one of the founding members of Big Brothers of Houston. I'm also on the board of directors for Big Brothers of San Antonio, so I'm trying to get back and follow in his footsteps. Just very shortly about my West Point experience. I don't know how I got out of West Point. I think I dreamed my way through. Asked me how to solve a calculus problem. I couldn't tell you how. I couldn't. I have an engineering degree, but I couldn't tell you how to solve a calculus problem. Okay? But I also learned I could accomplish anything there. And I spent 22 years in the military. In that 22 years, initially I was commissioned as a field artillery officer, and I flew helicopters for 6 years. That's why I'm walking funny, guys, because when I was 29 years old and full of me, I crashed and burned. And if you ever been in has anybody ever been in a helicopter crash or a plane crash? Okay, we got one. Lawrence is an aviator, so he's a better pilot than I am. And but you know, when you're in trouble, you call for two people. You either call for your mother or you call for Christ. And I wasn't calling for Mom. But anyway, so I found out that aviation wasn't me, so I went back to the artillery. The Army did, the other good thing about the Army, besides learning how to work with people, it allowed me the time to be a dad, a father, and a husband. It really helped me it allowed me to do that time. Most people don't realize what the military is all about. After 10 years, when I learned that I love the military more than they love me, that's when I started being a real father and a real husband. I used to wear my West Point ring before I wore my wedding band. I said, honey, you know, Uncle Sam didn't issue you, so you know, you come in kind of, you know, good thing she put up with me, you know. So after 22 years, and my children were in high school, I didn't want to leave. I didn't want to leave the area and have them skip this high school in Judson because they were doing so well. I decided to retire, and you know I was going to do the best. I wasn't going to go anyplace else. So it was time to think about the family. So, but part of me, now I'm getting to my business now, and I'm going to try to do this as quickly as I can. Prior to me retiring, and this is where God has a strange sense of humor, I went fishing, and I went down to the valley, and this lady, her name's Mae Nelson, she's an OBN, African American, owned a staffing business. I watched this lady, and I said, man, I can do this. every year, when I would go fishing and watch her business grow, she grew about a $3 to $6 million business down there. I said, I can do this. So after 3 years at San Marcos, I resigned. I gave my resignation on June 19th, okay? And, June 19th is when the slaves realized they were free in Texas. So, I was given, but, and so, and I told my wife I wasn't going to work for the white man anymore. So, she said someone, she'll tell you that someone asked you, and she took 2 jobs. Because she took 2 jobs because I went from a $90,000 job to about my retirement, which was about $30,000 at the time. We had a kid in college. We had just bought a house 2 years ago. Just bought 2 cars, and here I am telling my wife I want to be an entrepreneur. So she took 2 jobs, working 60 to 80 hours a week for the next 4 to 5 years. So I want to give my wife a hand for that. Now this is what I told my family and friends. I told them I had a dream of starting a business so important. I'm going to start a business for my grandchildren. We don't have grandchildren yet. And this is 16 years ago. Okay? I prayed for twins at the wedding reception. Again, everybody thought I was crazy. Everybody thought I was crazy. They did. I did everything possible to make this business work. I worked out of my home for 2 years. I started driving people to work, picking up people, giving them checks at work. I lent them my wife's car for a couple of years, and she was not happy about that. And I said, honey, you can walk to work, Across the street. So, and you have to be a little bit crazy to start a business in any kind of environment. But my friends' support never wavered. My friends bought food and loaned me money. I had a friend that I talked to him about the business, never asking for anything. And 2 days later, he says, Don, I'm going to leave you $25,000. He took that money out of his children's education fund. He said, Don, this is the guy I played football. I knew him when I was 15. When he was 15, I was 17. So, great friend. And again, just a few more things here. Again, started the business in 2000. Worked at a house for 2 years. I believe in delayed gratification. And I didn't pay myself for 3 years. But I kept going to conferences and being around people and using as many resources as I could to find out how I'm going to make that $1 million. The first year, I made $460,000. Second year, I made $660,000. The third year, I made $890,000. The fourth year, I made, $860,000? The fifth year, I made $1 million. 2004, I got in trouble with the big guy, the IRS. They threatened to shut me down. The smartest thing I did was get a good CPA. I gathered my people together, and I told them that failure was not an option. I took a pay cut, 0. I cut some folks a dime, some people 50 cents, and the last person $3.50. And the people I cut a dime left. The other people stayed in, and they're still with me. That was 2004. The next year, we did $1 million. Now, let me tell you how we did that. We did it because I fired a couple customers that were not paying. I changed, I looked at myself and said, Mooney, what are you doing wrong? And what I thought was people were like the people I were used to in the military. When they said they were going to do something, they would do it. But it's not like that in the world. People will do everything not to pay you. And so anyway, so 2006, we doubled, 2 million. 2007, we made $3.5 million. And I had a $500,000 debt. I said, man, you got all this money? Money, you deserve $250,000 in your pocket. No, I didn't do that. What I did was, I said, okay, what you need to do is bring some new DNA into your organization. You need to bring in people who are smarter than Don Mooney. I'm still hiring college graduates. So the first person I hired was my daughter. Okay? And so she became my executive. Well, she became my recruiter. And she outshined my operations person that she took over her job and became my executive. And and so I started hiring people smarter than me. You know, you can't be afraid of people who are smarter. You gotta remember who the boss is. And so I was, and so I would always start to improve on my hiring methods. You've got to hire A team members, because the people who walk in the door of your organization are key to you being successful. You know, as a CEO, as an owner, you want to be the dumbest guy in the room. Okay? You need to know the right questions to ask, because you're the boss. You own the checkbook. So you want people, when you start hiring people, when you can start doing that, you want to be the dumbest guy or lady in the room. So 2007 through 9, we had a flat growth of 1.2%. 2010, we grew 350%. We grew to $13.4 million. My children helped me to go there. My family, my children helped me to go there. And they were, I couldn't have done that without my children, without my wife. Now, one of the other things I did was I did a lot of teaming with stronger and larger companies. Now, you have to make sure that they have the same values that you have. A lot of these larger companies will try to snooker you. You need to make sure that they have the same values and they are transparent. If they will not give you an RFP and you are the prime, you don't need to do business with them. Remember, as a small business, a lot of these things on the government and the state, you have the control. Okay. 2015, we did $54 million. Okay? Now, so how did we get there to? We started planning that in 2010. We're going to get at $54 million. Now, here's my vision for 2020. I promise I was going to tell you a little bit about that. We want to become a $200 million company. That's what we want to do. We've already, in the next 18 months to 2 years, we're going to expand our light industrial by going to 10 cities. So instead of thinking linearly, we're going to think exponentially. We're going to grow our MSP, our VMS company, and make it a national company. We're going to go to 25 cities within 3 years with our light industrial. We're going to establish a buy and information services company by 2018. That's what you're talking about, Charles. And we're going to continue to make a social impact by helping children. We believe in the future. We believe in the children. We're also buying land right now to build our office building and build a daycare for our employees. My wife's going to run the daycare. She's not that crazy. She's not that okay? And we're going to look for other opportunities. Finally, and I mean finally, nothing is possible without the hand of God and our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and I mean that, and I'm just not saying that. I had no real money when I started the business. I sold my wife's dream house, zeroed out my retirement funds, zeroed out credit cards. You guys know that, right? Yeah. So, but because of his hand, we never missed a payroll. Came close. And because of him, we employ over 1,200 employees in 35 states. Thank you.
Inspirational words. Thank you so much for coming and spending your time with us every single person here. And if it's one through line I've noticed through this whole evening, whether it's someone that we're introducing to give out raffle tickets, whether it's someone we're introducing to acknowledge some people here, or whether it's been our speakers, it's been a through line of service. So many people here give back, and what we've also heard this evening is what a difference each and every one of us can make in someone's life, whether we realize we do or not. And making dent in the community we want to be in is not going to happen by happenstance. It does not happen by accident. It happens with forethought, with planning, and with a lot of service. And so I just want to thank everyone here tonight, because as we discussed at our table, everyone we would want to be here from Denton and the surrounding areas are here tonight, and we so appreciate you. At this time, it's my pleasure to bring to the podium a friend and colleague, Reggie Hill. He's a real estate investor since selling his successful business at Lone Star Car Wash. He's a board member of the Black Chamber of Commerce and a member of the Dallas Urban League, a member of the Dallas United States Tennis Association, and the Directors Investment Club. He is a long time important pillar of our community that I'm so proud to introduce. Please give your attention to our friend Reggie Hill.
Hello. I'll say a couple of things. I'll kind of relaxing statement, stand like this. Let's give an applause to our speaker. I understand that, but my dad was a girl, and I commend you immensely with all the service you've done in the United States Army. I commend you. Let's give another applause to our sponsors, our major sponsors. This is the first place. So, let's give applause for UNT. And also the tennis team. I'm a little tennis team. We're national ranked, of course, because of some of my help. He's a head coach. He does a great job. The UNT system. I'm really grateful for that. DACU, Denton Area Teachers Credit Union. The First State Bank, Marty Rivers. DME, Phil Williamson, well, we need to play some golf, so where's Phil? The City of Denver Police, the best police station and organizations in the state. You guys done a great job. Y'all do y'all great department. Y'all up for the time. Y'all do it really good. I always sit there, and I mean it. Also, Chief Howell. No, if I do so wrong.
Greg, you gotta take it out.
So you guys, the City of Denver Fire Department, Chief Robin Paulsgrove, he's not here, but they have done a very excellent job. The fire department very good. He's done a great job. So NCTC, Roy Coberson, my dog. Just like the nation's talking about, the kids need to learn a trade too. We also get a degree at a major university, which I have myself. But a trade degree, a trade school degree is very good. It creates America. That's America. A trade is a very good. You need to learn a trade. Trade is very important. I commend NCTC to offer that. Okay. The Denton ISD, my friend Jenny Wilson, my UNT classmate, basketball star. We went through a lot together back in college. Probably my tennis game, we were getting after back then. NCAA tournament, played against the University of North Carolina. Y'all played well that game. I watched it. Y'all played well. Access Bank, Cleve Breelove, and Gail Earls of Access Bank, very good. Class of Lincoln Mercury. I want to talk about that. Rick, where are you, Rick? Where is it? We're going to get together too. Me, you, Phil, Carrie. What's one of the dogs?
I'm right here.
Even Wheeler Printing, they did a wonderful job on the programs. I didn't give them, they have done a great job with the programs. So I want to give them some applause. In which I cannot name, I can't name everybody, but I appreciate what y'all done. They were sponsors. Appreciate what y'all done. Y'all done a good job. Thanks for your support, and I want you to continue support for us in the coming years. Let's again give a round of applause to our sponsors. Thank you guys.
Thank you so much, and indeed, thank you very much for your sponsorship. It is appreciated. Next to the podium, I'd like to introduce Mark Court, who's going to talk to us a little bit about upcoming events, including the blues festivals, seminars, and mixers we have. Mr. Quartz is an HR professional, human resources, and a founder of the Texas Diversity Business Network. He's a board member of Giving Hope Incorporated. Giving Hope Incorporated gives a hand up to those experiencing or at risk of homelessness through advocacy, community collaboration, and rental assistance. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Mark Quartz. And also to the stage, Mr. Wayne Campbell at this same time. Wayne Campbell is the coordinator for University of North Texas, the Division of Student Affairs. He's a prior employment specialist for the Nebraska Department of Labor and is active in the Denton County Young Professionals Association and the Texas Cooperative Education and Internship Association. Lots of credentials for a couple of great gentlemen. Thank you so much.
Guys, we won't be here long, but what we want to do is we're going to share some things that we're going to be doing as Black Chamber of Commerce. This is not the whole list, but this is some of the main things we're going to do. But one thing that I want to encourage the people in here who are successful business people, regardless of your color, we would like for you to come talk to either myself or Mark here, because we want to incorporate you in some things that we want to do to educate the community on how to start a successful business. So the teaching is going to come from you guys. And I was pleasantly surprised that Mrs. Bradford is here. She's taught one of our classes we had last summer. So we want to encourage you, if you are a successful business owner, please come talk to us, because we would like for you to share what you did and how you got where you at to some of our people in the community. And just like our speaker, Mr. Bullock, I mean, it was just so good to hear that, because a lot of times you see somebody successful and you think, okay, he just got like that, but there is something that you can share with the community. So what we want to do, me and Mark, we're going to do this concurrently. We're just going to tell you some of the things that we're going to be doing. We have a good program coming up for the historically underutilized business. Usually that sometimes means African American owned and minority owned. But we have a historically underutilized business opportunities with UNT, TW, City of Denton, Denton County, and Denton ISD, Independent School Districts. We're going to be talking about how to do purchases with those communities. So if you have a business, if you are a minority, if you are a female, you want to come to this program and keep your ears open, because we'll let you know the time and dates. That's going to be a good program for you, so you can learn how to do business with those entities, UNT, TW, City of Denton, Denton County, and Denton Independent School District.
We're also going to have a second part, which is the hub opportunities with UNT, TWU, City of Denton, Denton County, and DISD, part 2. And in that part 2, we're going to help everybody learn how to write winning proposals. So some of these activities are going to begin to start taking place in the second and third quarter. So we will have more details on our website. So make sure you pay attention to our website. It's listed right on the front of the book. Denton Black Chamber Online.
Okay, also, people, we're going to give you the opportunity to have lunch with community leaders. So you don't want to miss that. And again, that's going to be posted on our website when we finalize the date and the location.
And also, we're looking to have a youth business forum where we're going to allow some people up and coming, future entrepreneurs, partner up with some of the more successful established businesses. So again, look for that again around the second and third quarter.
Folks, our Taste of the Blues is coming up now. A lot of you guys have not been to that, but the Taste of the Blues is going to be the kickoff for something even bigger that Mark's going to share in just a few minutes. But you don't want to miss that. That's going to happen in September. It will usually be like, I believe, the third Friday or so in September. Again, keep an eye on the website. You don't want to miss that. Free event, good music, and good food as well.
And then, as everyone knows, the third weekend of September is when we have our annual Blues Festival. This year, we're going to kick it off a little differently. That Friday night before, what we're looking at having is a karaoke blues event where people can come in and practice their karaoke skills with blues. And that's going to be on the 16th, and then the Blues Festival will be the 17th.
And folks, we know nothing grows without you reaching out to people, so we want to have a bring a friend mix. That's going to be in November 2016. So as you benefit from what you learned and get here from the Denton Black Chamber of Commerce, reach out to a friend and bring your friends to this event.
And then we're going to end the year, kind of like we did last year,
instead of having our last annual board meeting, what we're going to do is have a holiday cheer where people get to come in and kind of celebrate some of the people who assisted us during the blues festival. And we're just going to have a little holiday gathering, and we're going to put it on the website, and you're all welcome to check this.
All right, don't forget, successful business people who have a heart for the community, please see us after this is over with, so we can plug in some things we're doing. Following us is going to be Cheryl English. She's coming back up, and she's going to talk about the Fred Hugh tribute.
Lots of exciting upcoming events, and I'm sure you're all frightened that, yes, I did hear about the karaoke, and so I will plan on being. So get afraid, get afraid. Before we move forward, we are going to do some drawings, so if you have purchased raffle tickets, please pull those up now. And Cheryl English is joining me up here in order to draw some of these really neat prizes we've got.
Before I only had 4, I was wrong.
Good luck.
So the first drawing is going to be for a $25 gift card to Carlos.
A good chicken fried steak there in case it's... All right. Mom, check for me, okay? All right. Okay. We're in the full treatment.
532-277.
Must be present to win.
534-277.
All right.
LSA. $25 gift card. 534-185.
Yep, yep, yep.
Thanks for playing. And I'd love to join you if you would like. Just saying.
Yes, Jill and I will join anybody who wants to play with us. The next prize is a wine tasting for 4, valued at $100. Jill and I can go to
You know, here. All right.
534-139. No?
Mom, did you check mine? Give away.
$50 to Hannah. Come on. 534-184.
Yes.
Come here.
Yes.
You want to do a few more?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Oh. Okay. $25 to El Chaparral, $25 to LSA, $10 to Beth Marie's, $15 to Fuzzy Tacos, and Via Grande, $25, and $25 to La Di Da. All right. I'm just gonna close my eyes and pick one.
Okay.
534199.
You should jump up again just for
$25 to La Di Da. I love that place. They sell clothes. $25 gift card to LSA. 534299. 534299. Have to be present to win. Here. All right.
Everybody got it?
Oh, who got it?
All right.
Next is $25 to El Chaparral. 534166. All right. 534140. 534140.
We're going again? Oh. We are not going again. All right. I was so excited about the first one. The more chances you buy, the more opportunities you have to win. All right, you gotta play to win, people.
Wait, we gotta take it up. All right. 534158. Who's that you get?
No, but I might have a few words.
Oh,
There you go! These are great prices.
$2 to Beth Marie, both back to ice cream. Five, 3, 4, 2, 5, 7.
No one likes ice cream? We have a winner? All right.
You want to do a few more?
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's go. At this time, we're going to take a few moments for a special tribute. And to give that, Cheryl, would you please introduce us to that part of our evening? Thank you.
Earlier this year, we lost a true pioneer and treasure to our community and to our business community and just our community as a whole. And if you knew Fred Hill, you knew who I was talking about. And so this year we did something different, and we thought it would be quite fitting to give a tribute to Fred Hill. But we could stand here all day really and talk about all the great things about Fred. So I just have a few words to say, and then we'll have a video presentation that was put together by John. And I met Fred Hill when I first decided to run for office. I was given a list of people who I should contact to talk about my political aspirations. And Fred Hill was on the list. And the list was long. And so by the time I got to Kerry Goree and met with him twice for a couple of hours, I didn't want to talk to nobody else on the list. Because he instilled in me, first of all, how important it was and the expectation to the people in the Denton community, as well as the chamber and all the other people that we service here, what my commitment to this community would mean. And he wanted to see if I was up for the task. And after the first election, I didn't win, but I lost by 15 votes. And by that time, Reggie and I had become good friends. And so I called Fred when I decided to run again, and we had really good conversations. And after that, then I would see him around town at different events. And he was such a wonderful man, but one of the things that stuck out with me the most about him is just the impact that he made. The impact that he made in business, in community, in his friends. And I don't know anybody that has ever had a bad word to say about Fred at all. And so when I was thinking, what could I say? And there's so many things that, we could be here a long time, and John only gave me a few minutes. And so, but I thought about this poem, and many of you may have heard it. I've recited it and used it, but it was one that I love called The Dash. And I'm going to read it to you, but it talks about your beginning date and your end date, but what's important is what you do in the middle. And Fred was definitely, you can see the impact, even though he's not here, you can see what he did in his dash. And so I'm going to read this poem because I think it's just fitting, and I think that if he was here, he would want you to know this, and it would exemplify what life meant to him in family, in business, in community, and his faith. So I'm going to read this poem, and when I'm done, there will be a video presentation with a song that John Banks wrote. I read of a man who stood to speak at a funeral of a friend. He referred to the dates on her tombstone from beginning to the end. He noted that first came the date of her birth and spoke of the following dates with tears. But he said what mattered most of all was the dash between those years. For the dash represents all the time that she spent alive on earth. And now only those who loved her know what that little line was worth. For it matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash. What matters is how we live and love and how we spend our dash. So think about this long and hard. Are there things you'd like to change? Or you never know how much time is left that can still be rearranged. If we could just slow down enough to consider what's true and real, and always try to understand the way other people feel, and be less quick to anger, and show appreciation more, and love the people in our lives like we've never loved before. And if we treat each other with respect, and more often wear a smile, remembering that this special dash might only last a little while. So when your eulogy is being read, with your life's actions to rehash, would you be proud of the things they say about how you spent your dash? You can do the video, Kevin.
Denton Black Chamber of Commerce Annual Banquet, Take 2, on the song, Do You Know Fred Hill?
Thank you for a lovely tribute. Thank you, John Baines. Thank you for everyone who contributed to putting that together. And of course, Reggie, you and your family know that his light will shine on forever through you all, and we treasure you just like we treasured your dad. And next to the podium, we would like to introduce Dr. Kenneth Foster. He's a professor of sociology at Texas Women's University for scholarships and awards presentation. And he's with the core undergraduate faculty teaching in psychology and research. And some of his research topics are very interesting and include social identity, race and culture, social activism, prejudice, teen pregnancy, and substance abuse. He's a published author and award winner. Please welcome to the stage Dr. Kenneth Foster. Thank you.
Good evening. What a great evening. What an inspiration. I mean, if anybody who was not inspired by Mr. Mooney's talk and by this tribute to Mr. Hill, just raise your hand when I ask Reverend Logan to say a prayer. Time is upon us, but I do want to ask briefly if there's any newly elected or hopefuls that would like to just stand, be recognized, and maybe give 30 seconds, real time, just to say a few words. Going once? Okay. All right. Kerry and Reggie asked me to give me the honor of asking me if I would make this announcement regarding the scholarships that the Chamber is awarding this year. And I was honored to do that, and they did so just before I was to tell them that I'm going to be relocating. I got offered a senior educational position in Savannah, Georgia, and so it is with a little bit of regret that I will be leaving after having established some great relationships. My biggest regret, actually, is I'm not going to be able to sing Christmas songs with Mr. John Baines. But nonetheless, suffice to say, I am an educator, so education is near and dear to my heart. And, we just had a wonderful tribute to someone that, unfortunately, I did not have the pleasure of meeting firsthand. I know his son very well, great man, Reggie Hill, but just another indicator of the impact that this man obviously made is the fact that the Denton Black Chamber of Commerce chose to rename this award in the name, in Mr. Hill's name, as well as in Mrs. Letitia Hill. Sorry. The two recipients for this year, I want to say just a little bit about both of them. NCTC, my daughter is a beneficiary of what Reggie talked about, the kinds of opportunities that are offered by an education at NCTC. That was a real interesting story because my daughter was a junior in high school when we moved here. And we moved here from New Jersey. She's a kid who grew up in New York City. Coming to Texas was not easy for her. Okay? Not easy. And as part of her resistance, her adolescent pushback, she decided she was not going to college. Now here I am, a professor. My wife's an educated professional. I was not a happy camper, but I believe in letting people travel their own paths. She eventually did go to school, to college, and went to NCTC, and did well enough that she got almost a full ride here at UNT. And it's a great pleasure that one of the awards being made by the generosity of the Denton Black Chamber of Commerce is going this year to NCTC. The second recipient of the scholarship award is NAACP. The Denton NAACP is yet another group that I reached out to when I got here to Texas. I have the honor of having been for the last several years faculty advisor for the TW chapter of the NAACP, and it's a great honor to be able to say a few words about the NAACP. This is an organization that I think needs no introduction. You know, Mr. Willie Hudspeth is from what I understand, quite a staple of the community, and we're very happy that he's here in our presence. And as I said, the second recipient of this award is the Denton chapter of the NAACP. Thank you very much.
Well, Doctor, we are sad you are leaving, but we congratulate you in your new post. Go in peace and go with all of our well wishes. And thank you for your time here with our community. I know we're better for it. I have now the rare opportunity to introduce another friend and colleague. He has been owner and operator of the State Farm Insurance Agency in Denton since 1991. He's a board member of the Denton Black Chamber of Commerce and on the executive committee of the Denton County chapter of the NAACP. And he's also on the board of the Denton MLK Junior Center. He's married to Beverly Gorey and has 2 children and 6 grandchildren to keep him busy. We're very honored for the time that we have with you. Please come and share with us some of your closing remarks for the evening. Our President, Carrie Gorey.
I'd like to thank everyone for sharing the evening with us. We apologize for running a little late, but that's the way we roll. I really appreciate you coming out to enjoy it. You can't say anything, but hopefully you had a great time. I'd like to ask Mr. Mooney to honor us. We just got to the dessert, didn't we? Join us again on the stage. We'd like to honor you again with a little token of our friendship. It was very honoring to hear a man tell us about the good, the bad, and the ugly of his life. And this is some of the things that we do as a chamber. We never want to give up on anyone. James, you understand that as a school administrator. Chief Howard, you understand that everyone who walks away with silver handcuffs, one day they may walk away with golden handcuffs. So here today we want to honor a man who's crossed that path. This is a token of our appreciation for you to take that ride all the way up here to Gray City of Denton, Texas. And we appreciate you, the things that you do. With the Texas Association of African American Chambers, when we first started, only the officers were chairmen and presidents of the local chambers, the 22 chambers. And we said, wait a minute now, we're dealing with businesses. We need to get a voice and insight from corporate individuals and business individuals. And Mr. Mooney was the first board member of the Texas State Association of African American Chambers as a business owner, and he's brought us a lot of insight to our chamber. I also like to thank the University of North Texas Gateway Food Service. You must admit this was a meal. It'd been great if they did with some doggy bags too. Our musician, Don Bell. How did you enjoy the music today? This is the first play, but you can believe it won't be the last. We'll help you back. My wife says she's going to give something at the house. And all of you all invite, we're going to have Mr. Mooney there, I'm going to say Mr. Bell there to entertain us. Thank you again. And the gentleman there who's playing the piano as well. What is his name?
Darwin Martin.
Darwin, thank you, thank you. Good times on the week. And also, a couple of weeks ago, I called this young lady, a good friend of mine, and asked her, could you say a few words? I knew the answer was yes, because she never could just say a few words. I was in the scene. Miss Jill just very Jill and I worked the podium together, several of the big chambers, elected officials. Official reception is one thing that we do with the chamber is get together and acknowledge and recognize our elected officials. Thanks again, Jill. You did a wonderful, wonderful job. Another gentleman who's been with us for years and years and years, this is our 21st year, Reverend Logan. Reverend Logan is a homegrown gentleman, just celebrated his birthday with his twin brother. He's always been there as a friend to the chamber. We really appreciate you, Reverend Logan. Bless the food. We're going to have you to come back also and do the benediction after I finish. I'm going to make this short. I'd like to recognize some people who didn't get a chance to get recognized. I'd like to recognize from UNT Miss Dorothy Bland. Miss Dorothy Bland is old school of journalism. She's also the publisher of Didn't Lie. I got to be published out of Didn't Lie magazine. And also some new people too. Miss Joanne and Harold Wood. They're here, part of the University of Texas as well. Mr. Wood is part of the Kennedy Department. And Mayor Red is Joanne Wood. She's the Vice President of Institutional for Equity and Diversity. Something we talked about a little bit. Joanne Wood, thank you very much for your presence. Also, I'd like to say hi and thank you for coming, Harry Eady. And his group, Harry, is the president of the African American Scholarship Foundation. They do wonderful things. They also started last year the first Denton Black Film Festival. Thank you again, Harry. And like Dalton say, they are raised white. I wouldn't be up here if I didn't say thank you to the spouses of the board of the Denton Black Chamber of Commerce. If there are any spouses I know 3 spouses here, but with the spouses of the Denton Black Chamber of Commerce members, please stand and recognize yourself. My wife, Rachel's wife, they don't want to stand. They're the ones who hear us and we come home and we say, this is our last year. I quit. I'm not going to do it again. If I could just find someone to replace me. Chuck, you know what I'm talking about. Ms. Carpenter, you've heard that before as well. I'd like to recognize and thank our banquet committee and the volunteer. Those who are part of the banquet committee, Cheryl is the chairman of that committee. Would you stand and be recognized, those individuals? How do we begin our 21st year after going 20 years? We do it with a great team. And this is time I'd like to introduce my lineup, my pros, my Pro Bowlers. Will the members of the Denton Black Chamber of Commerce, of the board of the Denton Black Chamber of Commerce, please stand so I can recognize you. It's going to be a quick recognition. Mark Court. Mark Court handles our membership. We have Mr. Connie Baker. Connie Baker is with the Denton Historical Society. He knows more about Denton than you really want to know. The grass is just grass here in Denton. Wayne Campbell with UNT Intern Department. And Miss Cheryl England, the only lady in the group, and it's like we all have another wife when Cheryl comes to get what's good, what not to do. Cheryl England. And also our treasurer, the man who helped us pay the bills to make sure we're on time with everything, John Baines, and my good friend, my God buddy, who sometimes kicks the ball to get a better shot on Reggie Hill. Thank you. Yours truly, really cold. And Carrie Roy and myself, I'm going into my 9th year as chairman of the board, and I've enjoyed every year. It's the 9th year, and I tell John that this is my last year as the chairman of the board. Chuck, you heard that too, haven't you? And but we're going to keep on keeping on because we know there's a job to be done. And let me ask a question that may be asked again: who is the Denton Black Chamber of Commerce? Denton Black Chamber of Commerce is a group of men and women who thought this community was a community that was ready to give opportunity to all its citizens so they could put their best foot forward. If you give your best to the world, it will give its best back to you. We felt that the Black Chamber of Commerce could be there to help this city, help those individuals, so we can have more Fred Hills here in Denton. We can have more Don Mooney's here across the country who are doing great things. If you read about the Denton Black Chamber, you'll hear things like we embrace capitalism and all the goods that is afforded. We help out for American businesses. We represent many facets of the community. We're a clearinghouse. We're a referral group. And we promote the products of our members as well. Why do we do this? Because we still believe there's a need, there's an advocate, there's a need for a voice for WMBEs still in this country. WMBEs, women and minority business enterprises. Because we feel that someone needs to stand up and speak for those individuals on the federal, the county, the state, and the city level. How do we do this? That's the big question. We continue to have those conversations with those organizations, S-Class and DACU. And then with those conversations, we want to build on those conversations so we can help those organizations define their goals for procurement opportunities for African Americans, women, and minority business owners here in the community. I'm not going to take too much of your time. We do this, and we do this because we know. We're not doing this because of the Denton Black Chamber of Commerce. The Denton Black Chamber of Commerce is just there. We do it because we realize this community is a community for all of us. We do this because we know this community is a community that's destined to succeed. We appreciate you all for coming out. I appreciate you all for listening to me. We hope that you go home with something. And when you wake up tomorrow, you say, I want to be one of those individuals. I want to be one of those corporations that want to do something, that want to do something different, that want to do something that hadn't been done before for my corporation. I want to go against the grain because sometimes it's those things, as Mr. Mooney said, doing something different than you always did that's going to bring success and joy in your life. Thanks a lot. I hope everyone have an enjoyable life and a safe trip home. At this time, I'm going to have Michelle England. Do you have any more raffles to give Michelle England? Give a couple of more raffle tickets, and then we're going to have Reverend Logan come and give the benediction. Thanks again for everyone.
I can't wait to pull more numbers that A free 3-day weekend special till full-size collision damage waiver. Wow.
Oh, you need, oh, girl. Here. All right. 534245. $50 gift card to Walmart.
Who can't find something there?
534255. Okay. Now, I'm going to give this gift certificate away to Timberleaf's Golf Course. If you don't play golf, just bring it back. Jill and I don't play. 534170. Candy Haven, $21.50, strawberries. 534133. The next one is a $20 gift card to Applebee's. 534274.
Everyone, this is a 2009 Lucien Lachon Vineyard from El Dorado County.
It's a wine, y'all.
I'm happy
It's
to
wine. 534291. Here's a wine tasting for 4. 534281. Here is 4 $5 gift cards to Fuddruckers. 534129. Malcolm, bring me that golf club. Oh,
Thank you very much.
thank you, Tracy.
Thank you.
2 dinners to Denton County Independent Hamburger. 534149.
I'm sorry. Oh, no, you're fine. You're fine. I can't do it.
Okay, this is my friend Curtis. And, thank you. I don't know what this is. What is this?
What iron?
Cleveland, 54 degrees.
I understood there'd be no math on this exam.
Right. Yeah. I didn't get it out.
excited to stand before you, to stand before this organization that I'm a small part of, and very honored to be. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I want to say thank you for allowing me to come back again this year. I really appreciate that. We got ministers and pastors all over the area, and they asked me to come, and I just really appreciate the offer. Ms. Mooney, you have a lot of accolades, a lot of names, and titles that you have. Two come to mind. The first one, the child of the king. The second one, Miss Smith. Thanks. Lord, first of all, we come on this time thank you for the end of another program year. We thank you, Father God, that you guide and you led us here. Now we're asking for traveling grace and highway mercies as we go across the many highways and byways down the narrow streetways. Because we know that each way you'll be guiding our path and you'll be leading us along the way. And we just want to say thank you for all the ones that are here in various businesses, various positions throughout this city, this county, this state, and this world. That you'll continue to bless them and hold them in the hollow of your hand. And then one day, Father God, we'll see the big CEO in the sky. That's you. And we'll say, thank you, Lord, that we got the right ticket. The ticket home to be with you. In the name of Jesus, we pray and we ask that all everyone who loves the Lord will stay together. Amen.